Good morning, folks.
It's Friday.
It is Friday.
Yay!
I'm doing happy dance.
We already did that in the Wawa.
Oh, that was different. I was going.
We were dancing in the Wawa because there was a song on and he started dancing, so I figured I'd join him so he didn't look ridiculous.
It's always better when somebody's joining you. That's for sure.
True. Absolutely. How was your workout?
My workout was pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can't complain. I was a little tired, but I got everything done.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, especially since it was after a fast day.
What did you do today?
Today was back.
Yeah?
Yes. So what did I do for back? Maybe we should talk about that.
Sophie's here. Say hi.
Hi, Sophie. So for back today, I did lat pull downs. That's when you pull it down this way. I did some standing rows with a rope. I also did some exercises I really have a hard time explaining without showing. I did some low rows, which is like dumbbell rows with one arm at a time. And then I did some seated rows, which is a machine. And I also did shrugs. I know you don't like doing shrugs, so I always do what they call not good mornings. I don't know. So that's it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
And he says that if you walk up to him and tell him about it, he actually says that to you. I'm actually sharing this to our page, which is why I'm over here. Give me just a second.
She's leaving me stranded.
I know. He hates it when I do that. I'm sorry, dear.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
All right. So I got that taken care of. I also did back today. Every once in a while we end up on the same exercise together. So I did back and
spilled coffee.
And not on the computer.
No, sorry, folks. This is a.
Hold on. I guess he didn't want to drink his coffee after all.
That is so disappointing.
I know, right? All right.
You keep going.
The computer is safe. I put it on a towel, so it's okay. That's not good.
That's how you know it's live, folks.
Right? Here, give me the mail. All right. Well, that was fun.
That was real fun.
I'm sorry you spilled your coffee.
What are you going to do? Fortunately, I can make some more.
Anyway, I did back today as well. I did, let's see, what did I start with? I did lat pull downs. I did the rope ones where you do this way, which gives a little bit of different type of exercise to your back. And then I did rows, like this, seated rows. I did crossovers this way. What are these called, babe? Where you do them like this? What are those called?
I just called them standing rows.
Yeah, because if you do them on the fly machine, they're reverse flies.
Right.
But I did them on the universal, which you use the.
You can call them high rows.
Yeah. So I did these, whatever those are, and then I did some battle ropes, which are the rope things you do. I took a 14-pound medicine ball. I usually use 18, but since it was the end of my workout, I did the 14, and I picked it up and threw it over my head and threw it at the floor, which seems like a ridiculous exercise, but it's actually really good for you. And then there was one other. I did some. This is more of a core exercise than it is back, where I took the bar and did this. So I did those for back today. Had a pretty decent workout. Feel pretty good, so I'm pretty happy about that. Thank you for cleaning up the coffee. Fortunately for us, he drinks his coffee black, so
right.
There's no sugar in it.
There's no sugar.
If it had been my coffee that had been spilled, it would have been a much bigger disaster.
Oh well. I'm back.
It's all right, love.
A little excitement, otherwise dull day.
It's all good. We did go to Wawa today, so I am drinking coffee. As you know, I only drink coffee about once a week because I do drink it with sugar and fake cream in it, which is not healthy, obviously. So, all right, done with that. Let's talk a little bit about how we get ourselves to the gym 5 days a week, how that works for us. I feel like it really starts with the fact that we go to bed at night. I think when I talk to a lot of clients and a lot of even just acquaintances, when you ask them, what time do you go to bed, they're up till 11 or 12 o'clock at night. And I ask them, well, what are you doing with that time? How are you using that time to be valuable? And they're not. They're watching TV or whatever. And so then I ask them, is whatever you're doing between 10 and midnight more important for your health and wellness than working out? I made this dirty. I'm sorry.
I know. I saw that. It's all right.
I'll get you another one.
All right.
And the answer is usually no. That it's not. Whatever they're doing between 10 and midnight is not nearly as beneficial to their health, wellness, and overall life as it would be to go to the gym. Now, you typically, there are some gyms where you can go between 10 and midnight. That would not work for me.
No.
It would not work for you.
No.
So how do we get to bed every night? And here's a little trick that I have that people, when they hear it, are like, well, yeah, duh, but then nobody else, I don't know anyone else who does this. There's an alarm on my phone that goes off at 8:55 every night that says, get ready for bed. And I started doing that because last winter, we did a lot of puzzle building. We like to make puzzles in the winter time, put puzzles together. So they sit on our dining room table and we do puzzles. And what we found is we would get so engrossed into the puzzles that we wouldn't pay attention to what time it was, and we would be getting to bed late, which for us, 10:30 is late.
Right.
So I put an alarm on my phone, and so now every night at 5 minutes to 9, my phone reminds us, hey, whatever you're doing, stop doing it and go to bed. Yeah. And we get up, and from whether we're watching football, and that's the sad thing about living on the East Coast, right? If you're watching Thursday night football or Monday night football, you get to watch like half of the first quarter, and then
like 5 plays, and
you have to go to bed. But we get up and we go get ready for bed, and that means that we, I wash my face, we take a shower, whatever we need to do. Russ stretches every night. Stretching is very much a part of him. You've done that you're always working,
always,
right?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
He's very flexible for a man with his muscle bulk. It's surprising how flexible he is. Mm. I am not so much. But we get up, and we are in bed, ready for sleeping at 10 o'clock. And both of our phones have a sleep mode on them where you can text, you can call, you can whatever. I'll get it in the morning when we get up. Right. I have a couple of people that are on my favorites list who, my sister, 2 of my brothers, and I have 1 client who has me on retainer who wants to me to be available. They are on my favorites list. So if they call me, it actually rings through. But other than, and Russ, of course, but Russ doesn't call me. He's
I'm always next to me.
So why is he going to call me? But so, and then we sleep until our alarm goes off at 5:56. Don't ask me why I have it set at 5:56. I don't know. It just is. It's set at 5:56. And so the alarm goes off, and I turn off the alarm and I turn on the bedside light, because our bedroom has darkening shades because I can't sleep if there's a lot of light. Grew up on a farm. Sunshine means get up and work. So we have room darkening shades. So I turn a light on, and then we spend about 10 minutes. We snuggle, we say good morning, we reconnect as a couple, because that's really important to us. If you watch us regularly, you know that as a couple, our connection is really important. And people who see us work out in the gym know that too.
Yeah.
So we connect as a couple, and then do the check the email thing, see if any emergencies happened overnight, and then we get up and we go to the gym. What's Robert say? Hey, Robin and Russ. Good morning.
Good morning, Robert.
Good to see you. People do often underestimate just how vital stretching is. Yep. Sometimes when not exercising. Yeah, absolutely. Stretching is a huge benefit, and it can be, and it's something you have to schedule. Right. I know for me, I struggle with exercising because I feel like it's a waste of time. Like there's a part of my brain that's like, I'm not doing anything. This is ridiculous. So I have to kind of make my brain understand, yeah, that's not the case. Yeah.
For me, I've been doing it before I go to bed for, I don't know, at least 30 years, maybe longer. And now I also stretch in the gym. So I do a body part. I always stretch that body part in between sets. It's just something I learned a long time ago as far as maintaining flexibility and, making sure that you're not, so the term muscle bound is interesting.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people think muscle bound means these big, huge muscle guys that are doing steroids and they're, walking around and, I pick things up and I put them down,
I love when you say that. It makes me giggle every time.
But that's actually not what muscle bound means. What muscle bound means is that you have no flexibility in the muscles. So you can see somebody who does not look muscular at all, but when they walk, their arms are always in a bent position because the length of their muscle isn't there. It's so tight that it forces their arm to be bent. And that goes, you see people who walk and look like their shoulders are coming in front of them because they
work their chest so much that it's curling them.
And it's not stretched out. So
right.
That's what muscle bound is when you don't have that normal flexibility and look normal when you walk. And whatever it is, it could be any body part.
Rat.
We are in a dropping mood today.
Apparently it's that kind of day. I don't know what the deal is with that.
Although that's not as bad as the coffee.
Not as bad as the coffee.
No. So yeah, so muscle bound again is the lack of flexibility, not the size of the muscles that you have.
So let's talk a little bit about how do you know when you've tweaked something that you can work through or work around, or when you've tweaked something and you need to rest?
Right. Stubbornness aside.
Right, stubbornness aside.
Right.
But so here's the thing though, is that I have a client who, if he gets injured, he refuses to go to the gym. Oh, the bananas are falling over there.
Oh, what was that?
I don't know what the deal is today. So he hurt his groin. Okay, you know what that means? You can't do basically any leg exercises, and that's fine, but you can still do chest, you can still do back.
Right.
There's a lot of things you can do. So I think that a lot of times when people have something that gets tweaky, they're just like, oh, I have to rest, and that means they don't go to the gym at all.
Right.
And the reality is that, like, if my knee bothers me, my whole upper body is still fine to work out.
Right.
If my bicep tendon bothers me, which happens quite a bit with me, I have the left side of my body has drama because I broke my ankle really badly. I got kicked by a horse and shattered my ankle when I was a teenager.
She dove a lot when she played volleyball on that side.
No. So the left side of my body just has drama. But if my bicep tendon is tweaky, I can still do legs. If my knee is tweaky, I can still do upper body. So I think that a lot of times when people have something that's a little bit uncomfortable, they use it as an excuse to not go at all. And I think that that's a mistake.
And I think that sometimes people are looking for any excuse, and that's the habit you have to get out of. What can I say today that means I can't go to the gym? You should be like, what can I do today to get me to the gym? Should be
right. I was actually talking to a guy in the gym today, and I know he'll watch tonight. He can't watch, but so I'll say hi to Sean right now. And he said that this morning he just didn't feel like it. He didn't want to. And he even got to the gym and he was like, man, I do not want to do this. But the thing is, he worked through that and, did it anyway.
Yeah. And remember, not every workout.
Ann says, me, that's me. I think she means if there's an excuse, she doesn't go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and the thing, too, is not every workout has to be earth-shattering.
And we've said that. We've been on here and told you guys, well, we showed up, we went through the motions, we came home.
Right. I mean, it's just getting your body in motion. That's the key.
And being determined that I'm going to set my alarm to go to bed. I'm going to set my alarm to get out of bed, and I'm going to do that. And some of that is motivation, and some days it's just pure willpower. Like, I'm going to do this.
Right. And back to the injury a little bit, too, is the one thing I've always done, and I think everybody is able to do this, is get to know your body. So when something's bothering you and you want to go to the gym and you do something and you feel that particular exercise is bothering,
stop doing it.
Don't keep doing it. Move on to something else. Move to a different body part. Do cardio, whatever it is. But if you really listen to your body when you're at the gym, you'll understand what you can and cannot do if you have an injury.
And I think that that's something that I know I've had clients who have zero awareness of their body. They don't pay attention. And so, I've talked on here before about you can't have a good workout if you're distracting yourself. So if you're watching TV or reading a book or reading a magazine, like that means you're not paying attention to your body. And I know a lot of people do it because they don't want to feel how uncomfortable it is to work out, but I think that's a mistake.
Right. No, I agree. And the other thing I will say too is when you work out, whatever body part you're working on, understand what muscle groups that are and start thinking about it when you're doing it. Because the first path or road to understanding how your body feels and what's okay and what's not is understanding what muscles are at work. So, and I always tell, when I used to be a personal trainer and I would tell somebody, okay, we're going to do bench pressing. I wouldn't just say, here's the weight, do 10 reps, and then we'll go on again. What I say to them is, here's the bench press. What you're going to do is work your chest. Your goal is to flex that muscle when you're doing that. So if you're doing this motion, your chest should be going with that. And if you look at some people when they bench, their arms go this way, but their chest goes in. It's bizarre, but it's like a natural. I don't know how to do it. So I always say, stick your chest out. When you're doing chest, push your chest out with the bench press. And that's for every body part.
Yep. Ann said she rode her bike even though her butt hurt.
Very good, Ann.
And yes, get a gel pad. It will help, absolutely. But you know what? The reality is when you start bike riding, you do get saddle sore. And it will get better, but you have to keep doing it. That's the reality of bike riding. Right. It happens to us every spring. We get on our bikes and we're like, oh my God, my butt hurts. Form and focus are important. Yes,
Yes,
Bridge,
absolutely.
good to see you.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
And I guess the point we're making is that you have to know your body, and that takes paying attention, and that takes effort. For us, we've been doing this for so many years, decades, in fact, that our bodies were really in tune to how they feel. Not to say that I've never worked through an injury I shouldn't have. I absolutely have. I mentioned I broke my ankle as a teenager. The doctor told me when you can stand the pain, you can run on it. I shattered my ankle, and 6 weeks later I was running on it. Guess what I should not have been doing? So, absolutely.
And at some point when we have our, the website working.
She survived her first fast.
Very good.
Yay,
awesome.
Rich,
Congratulations.
Yay. I know you struggle with a headache. I had a headache yesterday too, so it must have been a headache kind of day. I think I didn't drink enough water.
You think so? But what I was saying is when we eventually get a website up and running, and we're working on that, folks, we don't really have an ETA on that yet. But
we're trying. We have businesses. Russ has 2 businesses. I have my own business. Now we're trying to do this. So we are working on getting you guys something useful. What's Robert saying? Speaking of that, Muhammad Ali once said, I didn't start counting my sit-ups until I started feeling it. Oh, yeah. Like mindset, because it helps aware of progress.
Right. What I would say to that, though, that's a very awesome quote, and Muhammad Ali was an awesome athlete. But the key to remember about Muhammad Ali, he was a professional athlete. And that's not good advice to give somebody who's just starting out.
Because you know what? I don't do sit-ups, but I bet if I did, I'd feel the first one.
Right. Well, not only that, the key to when you first start working out is not to work out so hard that you can't move for 4 days.
And not to make yourself so sore that you're like, I never want to do that again. That's not the point.
But what I was going to say, I'm going to get this point across.
I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you.
Is that when we do get the website up and running, what we will do is put videos of exercises and explain the process and what it does and what to think about and all that stuff. Like I said, we don't yet have an ETA on that, folks, but when we do, we will let you know.
Yeah, we'll definitely tell you. Bridge said she broke up her 500 calories and that helped her. You know what? And if that's what it takes for you to do it at first, I absolutely do whatever it takes for you to do what fasting looks like for you. There is no, as far as I'm concerned, there's no absolutely do it this way and absolutely don't do it that way.
The right way is to do it.
Right, there you go.
And then you figure out how it works for you.
Perfect.
The gentleman that we told you that already, he's only doing it for about a month and already dropped his cholesterol. Just so happened he had to get blood work done, and he already dropped it 20 points. I think he's like on a 12-hour fast max. So maybe
he said 12 to 18.
12 to 18.
And the markers are, based on the science that I've read, is that 12 hours is good, 18 hours is a tiny bit better, 24 hours is a little bit better, 36 hours is a little bit better. Once you get, so I've never gone 36-hour fast.
No, we max at 24.
We max at 24. Yeah. And there are doctors and stuff who say do long fasts, days at a time. Guess what? I am not going to try.
No, that doesn't sound fun to me.
That doesn't sound fun to me at all. No, so if you're diabetic and you have hundreds of pounds to lose, then that drawer had to be closed right this second.
Yeah, it would bother me.
And you're under a doctor's care and fasting, that's different. But I can't talk intelligently about that.
No, I mean, listen, and I'm not going to tell you that's wrong, because for the right reasons, it's absolutely right.
It's just not
just for us, and this is the key. This is I think part of what we're saying is this is our journey. This is what we're doing. This is what's working for us. Take what we're doing. Think about what we're doing.
Try stuff,
and try different things and see what works for you. Find that happy place that works for you folks.
Ridge made 19 hours. I think that's phenomenal.
That's phenomenal.
Yay for you.
Congratulations. Yes. Clap.
We're very impressed.
I got a loud clap. Sorry.
You have a really loud clap. He doesn't clap quietly, very carefully. So the last thing I promised to talk about is why getting too bulky really isn't a thing. A couple of days ago, if you were here, I happened to have a sleeveless shirt on, and I showed you guys my arms because they were pumped from doing arms. And I got a comment from a woman saying, "Oh, I don't want to be that bulky." I've been working out almost every day for 20 years, and my arms only look bulky when I actually work them. Usually they don't, I think they look toned.
Yes, so the myth of you walk into a gym and you get bulky is just that, it's a myth.
Robert says he's the same way about drawers.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, you understand. So walking into a gym does not put bulk on you. Lifting weights does not necessarily
it's not
put
that
bulk
easy.
on you. Believe me, when I was bodybuilding, you have no idea how hard it was just to gain a couple of pounds of muscle. How much work. I mean, I used to spend 5 hours a day in the gym. when I was
Can you
competing.
even imagine?
Right, 2.5 hours in the morning, 2.5 hours in the afternoon. I mean, that's what it takes to really build bulk.
I agree, Bridge. She says that she and I will never get too bulky. I don't, generally speaking, especially as a woman, we just don't have the testosterone to get bulky. It just doesn't.
Right.
It's not there.
Yeah.
And you have to be so lean for your muscle structure to show.
To be that much.
I mean, and I'm lean, and I still am not bulky by any. I couldn't compete in Miss Fitness America. I don't have any structure to show.
Well, everybody can compete in Miss Fitness America. It's just you have to have the right trainer, the right diet, and the right time and dedication. That's a different life at a different time. We are not there anymore.
No, but the point being is that, and I guess men don't worry about that so much about getting bulky because the culture is that for men to be muscular like this guy right here.
Wow.
Yeah, you're so silly. It's great. But for women, there's this perception that I'm going to suddenly get arms like that. I couldn't have arms like his if I wanted them. It wouldn't happen. Right. So, ladies, please don't feel like if you go pick up some weights, you're suddenly going to not fit in your clothes. It's not the way it works.
And the thing to keep in
mind... You
might
lose some weight and your clothes won't fit.
And the thing to keep in mind is the science today is showing that as you age, weightlifting is becoming more important than cardio. For the longest time, they said cardio, cardio, cardio. But as we age, our muscles and our bones weaken, and because we're not doing anything to sustain them. So you have to keep the density in your muscle and the density in your bone. And the only way that they've proven that works, I won't use the word proven.
I don't like the word proven. I'm a scientist.
They've shown that it works.
That.
Right. It is with weights.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so.
Weightlifting is key. Yep.
Yeah.
She says she has long limbs like I do, so she is lean too. So don't worry about getting bulky. Go do some working out, and you don't have to do it 5 days a week. Right. You can do it 3 days a week.
Right.
And you know what? If you can only get there 2, you know what? Do 2, but do something.
The key is to start. And what I've learned over the years, and I've seen it happen many times, is the hardest thing for an individual to do is walk through those doors to get into a gym. Yeah, right? And do it. Be willing to say, I'm going to go to bed, I'm going to get up, I'm going to go do this. And make it part of your schedule. I mean, eating is part of your schedule. Why can't going to the gym for a half hour or 45 minutes be part of your schedule? So, and people say, I don't have time. And as a coach, you know what I say? Don't say I don't have time. Instead say, that's not a priority. And then how does that feel? How does it feel to say, my health and wellness is not a priority? I don't know. For me, that feels pretty crappy. So anyway, that's that. I realized we didn't talk about breakfast, so let me do that a second. Russ made his oatmeal, as you saw. You probably saw him. Again, I'll run the quick run is oatmeal, spirulina, hemp seeds, chai seeds, the AMLA, A-M-L-A powder, which is an antioxidant powder. Right, blueberries, and banana. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. No, I think that's it. Oh, and you know what? We went to Costco yesterday. And I got a new immersion blender, so I'm very excited about that. And we bought some. This is brand new at Costco. So if you're a Costco purchaser, this is quick cooking steel cut oats. I've never had this variety of oats before, but the ingredients are organic whole grain oats, so it's definitely awesome. So we're gonna try them. If you're looking for something different, I'm not sure yet how to make it or what to do with it, but I figured we're gonna try it. It had the right ingredients, which is the ingredients of one. And look what else is back. Look, look. I was so excited. The cherries are back. Yay. What I would say, folks, is get there quickly because she's liable to buy them all. I may buy them all. Yes. So I was very excited that the cherries are back. So those are yummy. And today, can you put that away for me? Oh, it's going to beep because I left it open. Robert, you'd be having a conniption. I left the drawer open to our freezer. Yeah. Robert says, my health and fitness is not a priority. That needs to be on a sign, and we should all place it somewhere every morning. Right. You know what? If you do, just put Doc Robin on it. Right. And what I would say is change that sign to my health and fitness is a priority. Valid. And have that sign hanging up. So every time you put it in a place, so every time, whether it's in your bathroom, wherever, a little sticky note on your mirror. I matter. Right. Yep. That is important to me because you know what? It's like anything else. If you tell yourself you're going to fail, guess what's going to happen? But if you tell yourself you're going to succeed, eventually you'll convince yourself that. Absolutely. Yeah. And for my breakfast this morning, I just did not feel like putting together a smoothie. I wasn't in the mood, and because it's a lot of work and I don't feel like it. So I am instead, you might have seen me, I cut up an apple and part of a orange. That's orange.
orange.
That's an orange
pepper. And I'm going to have peanut butter on the apple, and then I have some organic hummus that I'm going to have on the pepper. Not as nutrient dense as my usual smoothie is, so I may, if I feel like doing it for lunch, I may make the smoothie for lunch. We'll see. But we have now in the fridge, we have brown rice, beans, peas, and homemade pasta sauce.
Which is almost gone.
Which is almost gone. I'll have to make some more. Yeah. But we made that for our meal yesterday, which the video pixelated, so you guys probably couldn't see it. But I might have that for lunch because that was super yummy.
That was yummy.
We put nutritional yeast on it. It was really, really good.
Yeah, yeah.
So we gave a shout out to Jean yesterday, but because the video pixelated, we wanted to do it again. We went to Costco yesterday, and Jean came up to us and was like, "Hey, I just watched your video."
Yeah, that was fun.
Was really cool. That was a lot of fun.
So if you see us out there, folks, we are very friendly people. Definitely say hi.
Yes, absolutely. What is she? I'm trying to read what Bridge wrote.
Hence, I succeeded in my fasting. I have never ever
skipped a meal before.
But success was the only option.
We're so impressed.
That's what we like to hear.
We like to hear that.
Bridget. Congratulations to you.
And tonight, for those of you who are local to us, we will be going to Ted's Happy Hour because we have to celebrate Russ's new client. Not that we ever have to have an excuse to go to Happy Hour. You guys know that we go to Happy Hour probably about once a week. But we're going to do that. So if you're local and you want to stop by the Ted's Montana Grill at Christiana Mall, come by, say hi. What time do you think we'll go?
We'll probably
sooner than later.
Yeah, we'll probably around 4:30, I would guess.
So yeah, we'll be there 4:30, 5 o'clock. Thanks, Bridge. Yeah, we're super excited about his new client, and I'm going to be helping him and working in the background on that client.
Right.
So
she is a new staff member.
I'm a new consultant to RGB Design.
Exactly.
So that'll be fun.
The only advertising or marketing company that, at least that I'm aware of in Delaware, that has a on-staff psychologist.
Yep. So that makes him different and special, right? Yep. So we're super excited. If you know anybody who needs marketing and recognizes the value of having somebody who's good at market research and interpreting market research, this is the guy to call because he has this secret weapon.
So on that little
we're going to eat breakfast, and we may or may not be back over the weekend. You know how that goes for us, but we'll definitely be back on Monday. Are we going to start doing one a day on fasting days?
I think we're just going to do one a day, folks. Because we just, anybody who's going to start fasting, you'll see that you're thinking about eating at night, and the topic of conversation is just not, it doesn't flow as well.
And we found that our internet here in our neighborhood at night, when everybody comes home from work, slows down, which is why our video pixelates.
And we're looking into that. We're trying to see if we can upgrade it.
See if we can upgrade it or something.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we will definitely see you Monday morning then, I guess. Monday morning, fast day.
That is a fast day.
And we may or may not see you in between. And I know for a fact I will absolutely post an R&R in the car picture for tonight when we go out, and maybe over the weekend if we run any errands.
Okay, sounds good.
So good to see all of you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your success with us, Bridge.
We're super
impressed with you. Keep it up. Let us know how that goes for you. And if your husband's doing it, I'd love to hear how that's working for him as well.
Right.
Post pics of dinner on fast days. I can, or we can post like a list or something if you want.
Right.
That'll definitely be something that goes on the website when we get it up. But before then, we can provide.
I mean, folks, give us some feedback. I feel like our shows when we do in the evening on a fast day aren't that great. If you guys feel differently, and you get enough people say no, definitely do them, then we'll reconsider. I mean,
I like doing them. Russ, you know, I drag him kicking and screaming onto these videos. All right.
So with that, we will say, eat food, not too much, mostly planned. Have a good day,
weekend,
folks. Have
guys.
a good weekend. Yes.
We'll see you on Monday.